Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft. And as usual, when I get back from vacation, it takes me a few days to get back into the swing and get back up into my craft room, but I'm here. So I made a list of things that I wanted to do. I had been missing out on some little scraps, big impact um, themes. So I've organized those. I made a list of some things I want to get done in March. But first, I want to use up the scraps that are on my desk from the page I did for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, Day 1 sketch, and that was my sketch that I made. But I have these beautiful scraps. I love them. I feel like it's not enough for me to put back into my scrap bin and make use of, so I just want to play with them and make, I think, a little, a card and just get these scraps used up. So my plan is to sort of just layer the scraps. I've pulled out a few different sentiments. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. I kind of like this rather than going all purple. And I have these flowers sitting in my bin that I got in a swap. And so I think I'll use one of these flowers as well. And then I also have the ribbon sitting on my desk. So that is kind of my plan. I like both of these papers. So what I think I'm going to do is cut a piece off this one. And I think I'll go about there. And then we're just going to make it work. So then I'll have a square. I think that's a good idea. Something a little squarish. And then I'm going to ink all of these with Vintage Photo. Oh, that's the wrong side. Just to help differentiate. Why do I feel like that's not cut straight? Why do I feel that is not cut straight? Because it's not very interesting. All right. So I'm trying to sort of optimize the size of them. I don't have a sketch. I'm just going to play around. I wonder if I can hide that corner. There's a little nub out of this corner, but I think I'll be able to just tuck that. Maybe that's not square. I thought it was. Ooh, sounds like there's another thunderstorm coming. Well, it would help if my things were a little bit square. All right. So I have those two. Let's go ahead and do this one. Now I could scruff up these corners or these edges to get a little more distressed look if I wanted. I also have these, which I might use. I have this other side, which I might want. Ooh. Let's see what we think. I want to sort of fill up the most of the spaces. Do some overlapping. Okay. I'm not disliking that. I'm going to, I can move these. This is repositionable, but I want things to sort of hold still. Well, I could put one in the middle. If I put that in the middle, this one not in the middle. I will probably go back in and glue these papers down so that they stick really well. This is just playing around. And then this, oh, I don't mind that. All right, so if I take that down, pull this one up, and then this here. Okay, that makes for an interesting, why is that? A little bit further up. I don't even know which way I want it to run yet. And then I have these. I like the idea of that going down. I still have this one, but I think 3 of those is the right number. 3 patterns is the right number. I don't count this as a pattern, it's a tone on tone. Let's see. And this could go under. And we're doing some over and some under. Ooh, I'm liking that. And then happy birthday or just hello. And I think, let's see which of these we like better. That one's too, I think we go for the glitter. This could go. All right, well, I was going to leave this video mostly regular speed the whole way through, but I spent so much time fussing around with the placement of each little box and the sentiment and stuff that I've sped it up just 2 times speed. So you'll see it all, but I'm just, you know, I'm being slightly indecisive and trying to get just the right look of everything. I do decide to banner end or fishtail end, whichever term you use, both the sentiment and then the little purple strips. I do the same thing. And I think that was necessary, if you will. I'm also trying to make sure I'm getting all these squares straight. Now I've just used adhesive here. I do go back in and glue, add some sort of lift up and add some liquid glue underneath it, which is what I usually prefer to use on cards because you don't want things falling off if they set it out or they have a humid house or whatever. So here I switched. I decided I would rather have had the florals at the top and the stripes sort of as a base. And I'm happier with that, though I still have some fussing to do, as you can tell. I'm just trying to make it not look too, I don't know if it's that it's too striped or what. So this is where I think I cut the fishtails at some point here. So I'm doing one on top and one below just to add variety and more texture, more layered look. And then I like the look of tucking that under because it was looking too striped. So I'm trying to make it look a little more cohesive, if you will. So it's kind of fun sometimes to just let the paper do the work for you. And I just sort of cut the biggest pieces I could, cutting off, torn bits or whatever off the papers, and then made those work. Here's where I'm considering switching to purple, partly because I didn't end up having a lot of that orange showing. So I'm going to make one more switch so that I get a little bit more, and I'm going to flip-flop this piece of paper. And then I like that a little better. And it makes that orange stripe on that paper more prominent. All right, so now I think I'm ready to add some glue. And I'm just going to tuck it under the corners and on the ends of things so that they're secure and they won't be popping up. If I had a pre-plan, before I set these down, I would have put liquid adhesive all over the backs. But I was so unsure of where I wanted things, and you can tell I've moved things around, that the repositionable was definitely the right answer for this project for me. All right, and now we'll just add a little bit of bling. I happen to have some purple half gems, flat back gems. And this is actually a set of shaker pieces. There's little balls in here and other things, so I'm just going to pull out some of the gems. And just to add a little more bling, since I've got that glitter on there. And a couple at the top. We'll glue those down and we are ready to go. And I had very few, I think I have 2 little strips left from those scraps. I will put those in my scrap bin just because they'll make nice accents on another card or something like that. You never know. I recommend you just throw those away, but I have a paper compulsion apparently. All right, so let's just do some close-ups of this quick and simple card, but I think it's pretty effective. And I used a swap, a ready-made sentiment, and a bunch of scraps. Thanks a lot, you guys. Come on back to my space to craft.